I never expected my life to turn upside down like this. I was married to Harper for over a year, and I loved her more than anything. She was beautiful, kind, and hardworking. She came from a small town and moved to the city to support her family. She worked as a waitress in a restaurant near my supermarket, where I was a store manager. We met on the bus that we took home every night. It was the last bus on the route, and it was usually empty. We started talking one day, and we hit it off. We had a lot in common, as we both came from remote places and had no family or friends in the city. We moved in together after a few months, and I proposed to her a year later. She said yes, and I was the happiest man in the world. We had a small wedding at my family church, which was our tradition. Harper's family came down from her hometown. She had no one except her mother, her elder sister, and her niece. Harper was very close to her niece, Essie, who was 6 years old. She told me that her sister was a single mother and that her husband had left her when Essie was a baby. She said that she wanted to give Essie a better life and education and that she planned to bring her to the city and enroll her in a modern school. She said that her previous boyfriends had a problem with her taking care of her niece, but I didn't mind. I thought it was noble of her to help her family, and I admired her for that. Harper had also taken a culinary course and wanted to become a chef. She had been saving money for that, and she asked me to bear the household expenses for a while. I agreed, even though it was hard for me to make ends meet. I wanted to support her dreams, and I hoped that she would get a better-paying job soon. She did get a job as a chef, but it was not as high-paying as she had expected. She said that she needed more time to save money for Essie's admission fee. She insisted on bringing Essie to the city as soon as possible, and she didn't listen to me when I asked her to wait for another year. She said that it was for Essie's own good, and that she wouldn't burden me with her responsibility. But I felt that she was already doing that, as I had to pay for everything for the two of us. I also felt that she was neglecting me, as she was always busy with work or with Essie. She barely spent any time with me, and we hadn't been intimate for months. I tried to talk to her about it, but she always got upset and accused me of being selfish. I felt guilty and confused, and I wondered if I was the a-hole for not supporting her enough. Things got worse when she brought Essie to the city. She didn't tell me beforehand, and she just showed up with her one day. She said that she had applied for Essie's admission in an international school and that she was confident that she would get in. But Essie failed the admission test, as she was not prepared for the level of education that the school offered. She had been studying in a community school that lacked modern facilities and teachers. Harper was disappointed, but she didn't give up. She decided to enroll Essie in a private coaching center, and she took another job as a waitress to pay for it. She said that it was only a matter of time before Essie would get into the school and that she had everything under control. She asked me to be patient and supportive and to bear the household expenses for a little longer. I was frustrated and angry, but I didn't want to argue with her. I felt that she was being unrealistic and impractical and that she was putting too much pressure on herself and on Essie. I also felt that she was putting our marriage at risk, as we hardly talked or spent any quality time together. I felt like a stranger in my own home, and I didn't know what to do. I started to resent Harper and Essie, and I wished that things would go back to the way they were before. I missed the Harper that I fell in love with, the one who was sweet and caring and attentive. I missed the intimacy and the connection that we had. I wondered if she still loved me or if she only saw me as a provider. I wondered if she ever thought about having our own children or if she only cared about Essie. I decided to confront her about these issues and to ask her what she wanted from our marriage. I hoped that we could work things out and that we could find a balance between her niece and our relationship. I hoped that she would listen to me and that she would compromise with me. I hoped that we could still save our marriage. But I was wrong. When I asked her about our future and about having our own children, she snapped at me. She said that she didn't want to have children and that Essie was enough for her. She said that she loved Essie more than anything and that she would do anything for her. She said that I should be happy with what we had and that I should stop being selfish and demanding. She said that I should be proud of her for being a good aunt and a good person. She said that I should be grateful that she married me and that she didn't cheat on me or leave me. She said that I should be supportive of her and Essie and that I should adopt Essie as my daughter. She said that it was the only way to get Essie into the school, as the school wanted to interview the parents as well. She said that it was a small thing to do and that it would make her and Essie very happy. She said that it was the least I could do for them after all that they had done for me. I was shocked and hurt by her words. I couldn't believe that she was asking me to adopt SEI as my daughter without even consulting me or considering my feelings. I couldn't believe that she was so obsessed with SEI and that she didn't care about me or our marriage. I couldn't believe that she was so ungrateful and disrespectful to me after all that I had done for her and SEI. I couldn't believe that she was so selfish and manipulative and that she was trying to guilt-trip me into doing what she wanted. I couldn't believe that she was the same woman that I married and that I loved. I lost it. I yelled at her and told her that I wouldn't adopt SEI as my daughter. I told her that I didn't want to have anything to do with her or SEI. I told her that I wanted a divorce and that I was done with her. I told her that she had lied to me and that she had betrayed me. I told her that she had ruined our marriage and that she had broken my heart. I told her that I hated her and that I wished I had never met her. I stormed out of the house and left her crying and begging. I didn't look back and I didn't care. I was angry and hurt and I wanted to get away from her. I checked into a hotel and tried to calm down. I called my parents and told them what had happened. They were shocked and sympathetic and they told me to come home. I agreed and I booked a flight for the next day. I didn't want to see Harper or SEI ever again. The next day, I went back to the house to pack my things. Harper was not there and neither was SEI. I was relieved and I hoped that they had gone back to their hometown. I packed my bags and left a note for Harper. I told her that I was divorcing her and that I wanted nothing to do with her or SEI. I told her that she had made a huge mistake and that she had lost me forever. I told her that I hoped that she would be happy with SEI and that she would never bother me again. I left the house and took a cab to the airport. I didn't look back and I didn't care. I was sad and bitter and I wanted to start a new life. I filed for divorce as soon as I reached my parents' house. I hired a lawyer and I told him everything. He said that it was a clear case of fraud and deception and that I had a strong chance of getting a quick and easy divorce. He said that Harper had no grounds to contest the divorce or to ask for any alimony or property. He said that I was lucky that I had no children with her, or else it would have been a messy and complicated affair. He said that he would handle everything and that I didn't have to worry about anything. He said that he would contact Harper and get her to sign the papers. He said that it would be over soon and that I would be free of her. But it was not over soon. Harper refused to sign the papers and she tried to get me back. She called me and texted me and emailed me. I thought that I had moved on from Harper and SEI, but I was wrong. I still had feelings for them even though they had hurt me so much. I still missed them even though they had lied to me and betrayed me. I still loved them even though they had ruined our marriage and broken my heart. I tried to forget them but I couldn't. They haunted me in my dreams and in my memories. They were everywhere and nowhere. I tried to start a new life but I failed. I moved to a different city but I felt lonely and lost. I got a new job but I hated it. I dated other women but I didn't feel anything for them. I was empty and numb and nothing made me happy. I was miserable and I hated myself. I realized that I had made a mistake and that I wanted Harper and SEI back. I realized that I had been too harsh and impulsive and that I should have given them a chance. I had been too proud and stubborn and I should have forgiven them. I realized that I had been too selfish and demanding and that I should have supported them. I had been a fool and that I had lost the best thing that ever happened to me. I decided to call Harper and to apologize to her. I decided to tell her that I still loved her and that I wanted to be with her. I decided to tell her that I was sorry for yelling at her and for leaving her. I decided to tell her that I was willing to adopt SEI as my daughter and to be a father to her. I decided to tell her that I wanted to make things right and to save our marriage. I dialed her number and waited for her to answer. But she didn't. I left a voicemail and told her everything. I begged her to call me back and to give me another chance. I told her that I missed her and that I needed her. I told her that I loved her and that I wanted her. I hung up and hoped that she would hear me. But she didn't. She never called me back and she never answered my calls. She never replied to my texts and she never opened my emails. She never contacted me and she never gave me a sign. She ignored me and she rejected me. She was gone and she was done. I was devastated and I didn't know what to do. I wondered if she had changed her number or if she had blocked me. If she had moved to another place or if she had found someone else. If she had forgotten me or if she had hated me. I wondered if she was happy or if she was sad. If she ever thought of me or if she ever loved me. I decided to find out and to see her. I decided to go to her house and to talk to her. I decided to surprise her and to win her back. I decided to show her that I had changed and that I was a better man. I decided to prove her that I was sincere and that I was serious. I decided to do whatever it took and to get her back. I booked a flight and went to her city. I took a cab and went to her house. I knocked on the door and waited for her to open. But she didn't. I rang the bell and waited for her to answer. But she didn't. I looked through the window and waited for her to appear. But she didn't. I was confused and I didn't know what was going on. I wondered if she was not home or if she was hiding. If she was scared or if she was angry. If she was expecting me or if she was avoiding me. I wondered if she wanted to see me or if she wanted to forget me. I decided to wait and to be patient. I decided to sit on the porch and to watch for her. I decided to stay there and to hope for her. I decided to be persistent and to not give up. I decided to be optimistic and to not lose hope. I decided to be faithful and to not lose love. I waited for hours and she didn't show up. I waited for days and she didn't come back. I waited for weeks and she didn't return. I waited for months and she didn't appear. I waited for years and she didn't exist. I was heartbroken and I didn't know what had happened. I wondered if she had died or if she had disappeared. If she had been kidnapped or if she had run away. If she had been hurt or if she had been happy. If she had ever loved me or if she had ever lied to me. I decided to find out and search for her, hiring a detective to investigate and track her down. Following her trail, I aimed to uncover the truth and face reality, knowing what had happened and why. Investing a significant sum, I obtained information, learned things, and received answers, discovering secrets, experiencing shocks, and uncovering lies that brought pain. The truths I discovered left me with regrets. Harper had left me, returning to her hometown with SEI, living with her mother and sister. She changed her name, hid her identity, married someone else, and started a new family with 2 more children. She never loved me, only used, needed, manipulated, deceived, and cheated on me. SEI wasn't her niece or daughter but her lover's and sister's daughter, born from an affair, causing her sister's divorce and her mother's shame, becoming the source of her guilt and obsession. Harper had been involved with her sister's husband, becoming pregnant with his child. She lied to her sister, claiming SEI as her own, and to me stating SEI was her niece. In love with her sister's husband, she planned to run away with him, hoping to elope, only to be betrayed and left alone. Discovering the painful truth about Harper's betrayal, I was left to grapple with the devastating reality that the woman I once loved had led a double life. The chapter had closed, but the scars of deceit and heartbreak remained, haunting me with the memories of a love that was never real.